Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5.
Unemployment numbers surge as more than 3.2 million Americans apply for unemployment benefits in just 1 week. Good evening and thank you for joining us for NBC 16 at 5. I'm Jacqueline Mazer. The U.S. economy continues to get hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. The Senate has passed a record-breaking stimulus bill aimed to help workers and businesses impacted. That package includes checkups to $1,200 for checks, for up to $1,200 for people who earn less than $75,000 a year, $2,400 for those who are married and earn less than $115,000 a year, and an additional $500 per child. Other elements include suspending student loan payments, protections against foreclosures, and money for the airline and travel industries. The House will now vote on Friday on the bill. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Ron Wyden shared his thoughts on the new stimulus package. He says laid-off workers who are collecting unemployment will receive $600 every week for the next 4 months. Senator Wyden says there's another place where the stimulus funding will go.
The government was focusing on the two sides of the coin. One, to give employers the tools to do everything they can to retain employees and keep jobs. And second, the dramatically expanded unemployment insurance program for those who've been laid off and just without that help wouldn't be able to pay the bill.
Coming up tonight at 5:30, Senator Wyden tells us when Oregonians can expect to see the money going toward their unemployment benefits and more. And as unemployment benefits are on people's minds, even more Oregonians are being laid off in our area. About 58 employees are getting their pink slip at Alsco. The linen and uniform rental business says production, service, and office workers will be impacted. The company says they hope to return employees within 6 months. Just yesterday, Lane Community College and Willamette Lane also laid off hundreds of people. Now, Oregonians filed more than 76,000 unemployment claims during last week alone, according to the Oregon Employment Department. The hospitality industry is filing the most claims, including hotels, restaurants, and bars. If you're laid off because of the closed business mandate, you can file for unemployment benefits online, by phone, or by mail. The Oregon Employment Department website has step-by-step guides and videos to help. If you qualify, you'll be mailed a wage and potential benefit report. Claim times depend on the person and their situation. Once you file, you will start what they call your 52-week benefit year. We posted more information on our website at NBC16.com. And of course, it's not surprising that small businesses across the nation are barely surviving with no foot traffic amid efforts to stop the spread of coronavirus. We went out to see how some local businesses are holding up. Some say they're waiting for loans. Others say they're taking it one day at a time. Local brewery and kitchen Claim 52 says they've been making double the amount of their popular thick beer to help business.
Yeah, we were very thankful that everyone's coming to,
I keep
to
hearing
drink
myself.
those at this time.
Nothing's
Started doing a drive-through service. We've had a lot of great response from the community.
It's scary, but we're here trying to reassure customers we're wiping things down, trying to take care of them.
We're trying to avoid as many loans as we can, but to know that it's there is definitely, takes a little weight off your shoulders.
Most of these businesses are operating under normal business hours. They want to assure people that everything is being sanitized several times over. Tourism is taking a major hit from the restrictions to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Local hotels like The Graduate shut their doors last week. Andy Vibora with Travel Lane County tells us hotels depend on large gatherings to bring people to stay overnight.
Without any meetings happening, they're relying on an occasional leisure traveler to come into the area. And those are big facilities to try to keep open for a handful of guests at this time.
Vibora says the Olympic trials getting postponed means a loss of about $37 million in revenue. Well, moving on to a first look at weather, NBC 16's Heather Melendez joins us now. Hey, Heather, beautiful day out there again today.
It was, but it's very brief. It's going to be that brief frost. Today was relatively dry, seeing just a little bit of moisture out on the coastline for Coos Bay and Newport. But right now, if we're taking a look outside, we're seeing that cloud coverage really building on out. We're seeing all that cloud move in as that cold front starts to make its way along western Oregon. For the most part, before it gets here, temperatures are in the 50s along the valleys and in the coast. We'll be able to see some cooler temperatures for tonight, seeing some near freezing conditions, mid-30s for all of those along the I-5 corridor and 40s for those out in the coastline. But we will start to see some rain moving in. Before then, though, we'll stick with the 30-degree weather, seeing some clouds in the morning, seeing some fog and overcast, but more rain is headed in our way. I'll have all those details in my full weather forecast. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you, Heather. Well, coronavirus cases in Oregon climbed to 318, including 11 deaths. A 69-year-old woman in Washington County is the latest to die from coronavirus. The majority of cases are still in Washington, Marion, and Multnomah counties. In our region, Lynn County has 26 cases. Deschutes has 15 cases. Here in Lane County, there are 8 cases, 6 in Benton County, now 4 in Douglas County, and no cases so far in Coos County. As a reminder, Lane County Public Health does have a non-emergency call center available to answer any questions. That number on your screen, 541-682-1380. The call center is open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Well, there are now 2 temporary respite sites available for those unhoused in Lane County. The first site in the Lane County Fairgrounds is set to open today and hold 75 to 100 people. People who show no signs of illness will be placed in the convention center, and others will be in the Wheeler Pavilion. Next week, the county plans to open a shelter in Springfield with capacity up to 100 at the Willamette Lane Memorial Building. Lane County Public Health spokesperson Jason Davis says staff has gone through a series of trainings to enforce social distancing and sanitize conditions while sheltering the unhoused.
What we have done is a series of trainings with our partners, and then also having an environmental health team down there to sort of oversee those efforts and making sure that we are doing the best that we can with the facilities. So if you imagine a large room that could have a capacity of 300-400 people, we're not putting that many people in there.
Davis says hand washing stations will be available and that sanitization of the shelter will take place. People coming into contact with others expressing symptoms will wear protective gear as a precautionary measure. Well, Eugene police say they have only had minor complaints since Governor Brown's stay-at-home order. Captain Eric Klinko says police are not roaming the streets actively looking for people in violation of that stay-at-home order, but they are accepting calls on the matter and want the public to know they're still responding to emergency calls for service. As for the stay-at-home order, police are counting on people to follow the new rules.
So far, for the most part, things are going well. The 2 areas we're focusing on, should we get citizen complaints, are the myriad of businesses that have been closed down. And, our order, as I understand it, is not quite as restrictive as some in other parts of the country.
Captain Klinko says the governor's stay-at-home order is indefinite until circumstances warrant a change for it to be lifted. Again, the order does not allow groups of people to congregate for any reason. Well, tomorrow, Whitebird will be handing out free meals in the Whitaker neighborhood in Eugene. From noon to 1, staff will be handing out meals in front of the CALC office on Blair. Staff at Whitebird say they are planning to do this every Friday for the next few weeks.
A lot of social service agencies have closed, and a lot of people rely on those social service agencies and churches to eat. And so with those places shutting down or becoming very limited, it's important for us to be handing out food so that the unhoused population can still eat.
Visual static for that phone call. Well, moving on, Whitebird will be monitoring the meal handout to make sure that hygiene and social distancing are being observed. They do need donations on some supplies, including hand sanitizer, masks, and gloves. You can drop off donations to their office on 12th Avenue and Mill Alley. Well, Oregon State University staff collected nearly 200,000 gloves, 2,300 N95 masks, and thousands of other medical supplies to donate to healthcare workers across the state. All of these supplies were rounded up just this week after university-wide email went out Sunday asking OSU research facilities across Oregon for any supplies that could be donated. They ended up with more than 12 pallets of personal protective equipment for counties across the state.
Everybody went to their labs, they went to their teaching spaces, they found the supplies that were being asked for, and they came forward.
If you're a small business that has extra gloves or other medical supplies that are not being used, you can donate those items at the Lane County Warehouse from 2 to 4, Monday through Friday. Well, here's a quick look at Spencer Butte after Governor Brown's stay-at-home order. As you can see, there are still people hiking and riding their bikes. As a reminder, people can still enjoy outdoor activities as long as they follow CDC guidelines of staying 6 feet away from one another and avoiding large gatherings.